Welcome back to my channel, The Life of a Reseller. I am Sherry Parrott, and if you've watched some of my videos, then you know that I am a reseller and that I have a booth at Happy Rock Antique Mall. There's like 200 booths down there, and if you look at some of my other videos, I show my personal booth, which is always changing, and my niece's booth, and we kind of share our two booths together. And then so we have kind of a smaller one, and I just feel like it gets really cram-packed. So sometimes I keep some of my stuff here, and I had left out some Mother's Day items. I have some general items, but whenever I went down to take my general items down there, I took some things out and put some things in because I just felt like it was getting too cramped and too crowded. And I don't really want it to be crowded. So in one of my other videos, I talked about, this is my living room. I feel bad sometimes because I just have all my stuff in here. So I try to keep it organized, and I have this little corner laundry room. It's just piling up. So what this video is going to be about, it's going to be about just sort of organizing, and I like it to be more streamlined, and I'm also always sourcing and adding things in, and it's a constant shift of just recycling the things in and out, but we're keeping them out of the landfill, you guys, and that is very important to me. So these already have a category of their own, but I'm going to list them as props, and I have my props right here. So give me some props for my props. Toothpick holder, and it is something that I categorize as general. Okay, so this is a general item, and by general, what I mean by that is that it can go in anytime. And I try to keep, like, we're getting ready to get into Easter, spring, Mother's Day, but I still like to have the general things in. And then this I painted from a color by number paint kit, and it is going to be for sale. I think I will post that onto the marketplace, and so that goes in its own category. I do mix some of these things in. I think I could put this in my booth, but I really don't have room for it. I put this on marketplace as well, and hope I don't I just fixed that. I don't want to crash it to the floor. So it has the little replacement character to put in for candy corn for fall, peppermint for Christmas, a star for 4th of July, a pumpkin, and an Easter egg. I want to be able to grab a tote on Wednesday when it's time to go down, and I want to be able to say, all this can go in, it's the season, and it works. And right now, because I have a lot of items in the booths, and will be allowed for Mother's Day, and I will put this in for Mother's Day. And I think most of this is Mother's Day and Easter, so I set that right there. And then yeah, see the bunny, this cute little bunny figurine. So I pretty much have this all categorized, but I can see right now that I have some summer items, even though this could be considered St. Patrick's Day too, so, but it's really not quite time for St. Patrick's Day. I'll bring these out in March. So I'm going to take my green items, and those are going to be for a future date. However, my I have the other one of these at the booth, and it is a little, you know, Victorian plaster art, and it has a matching one down there, so I want to take both of them in there in case somebody wants to buy two. Then we have another Easter bunny. These are all priced. I've already priced these. Oh, these go here. These are things that I could take in on Wednesday. The Easter egg, I can take it. Now, I may not use it whenever I get down there. I just kind of trade things in and out. But what I want in this tote is I want things that I definitely can put in. Now, these are the two little doves, so I feel like they do work for Valentine's Day. I thought this was a Mother's Day item. The little Jello mold with the heart. So the rest of the video goes just like this, and I am organizing all of these totes, and I'm dividing out my craft items, I'm dividing out my tools, I'm dividing out each category by Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day, summer, Easter, spring, and some of this overlaps. And we eventually get all of the items organized and divided. They are also tagged, they're repaired, they're cleaned, and each tote is ready to take down to the booth, and I can take things out, I can put things in, but I know what is what, and I know how much each item costs, and I also know how much I paid for each item. Now, what I have noticed is that I have been averaging at least 50% more than what I pay, if that makes sense. I know I'm going to get what I paid and then half that amount more. Sometimes I double, and then sometimes it's way more than that. So the important part is to make sure that I am making money off of each item and not losing money. But we also have to consider that just because I have the items do not mean that the items have sold and that I can account them as a profit. But the more items we source and the more items we display, the more chance that we have of selling those items, making that profit, and this is all part of it. And it's a tedious part, especially when I love the smalls. I love the decor, and it's just a lot of small, minute items to categorize, take care of, tote back and forth, and it's just part of being a reseller. Now, I may eventually just get into furniture pieces and just a few smalls here and there, and those popular items that I'm learning, because like I said, I'm new at this, and I am learning what items sell in my booth. The items that sell for me are the lamps, the salt and pepper shakers for some reason, that I can't keep those in there. Purses sell. So now that I've been in the booth for about a month, and I can kind of determine what I want to put in my booth and how I want to source items, what items I want to source, how I want to decorate, what I want to be the focal point. And it's all part of the learning process. If you have ever considered sourcing and selling, you can sell many places besides a vendor booth, and I do. I sell on eBay, I sell on Marketplace, I sell on Facebook Live, and I sell in my booth. So it's really a lot of fun for me. I enjoy all of the items that I do find. I enjoy finding the items, going to thrift stores, estate sales, auctions, Marketplace, and just things in my source in my own house and trade things in and out. This is a really, really great way to earn a little bit of extra cash. But what I'm showing you here is that it just doesn't happen and without any effort. There is a lot of effort that goes into being a reseller. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I did speed it up a little bit, but you can see all the movement that's going on, and I really do enjoy it. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel by watching, commenting, sharing, liking, and subscribing. And if you find value from this content, I am very glad about that. That's why I'm putting it on here, to kind of just share my experience. And if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to reach out. I will answer what I can. As I said, I'm pretty new to this, but I do appreciate everybody who watches. I'm kind of putting this out here even for myself to see how I do things different as I go. It's sort of that journey of learning how to do something, and I have never officially done this as a vintage reseller before, but I am loving it. Vintage has my heart. I have sold women's clothing. I've had a boutique, and I sold retail. I had a boutique, but I have never sold vintage, and I find that it truly has my heart. And I love so much of the items. I just want to keep it all. And that's how I know that this was made for me, because I'm doing something that I love, and I'm loving what I'm doing.